I'm starting as a level 1 in GTA Online with no money, no car and no weapons. I have to get cash however I can, from delivering pizza, working as a taxi driver, to setting up my own business and even stealing from the cartel itself. My goal is to buy a mansion for myself. Things didn't go as I expected. Here we go. I started as a level 1 in GTA Online. The first priority was getting a vehicle. I found a website giving away a free car. Totally not suspicious at all. The problem was I couldn't order it because I had nowhere to store it. So I found another website with a free 2-car garage available. In the meantime, I decided to do the most logical thing possible, attacking random people on the street and stealing their money. It gave me a few $100, although the police showed up. I had to think fast. Finally, I arrived at the garage. It was cozy, I guess. At least it's free. It was time to give my new car a test drive. It was actually better than I expected, and I didn't pay a dime. Now that I had a vehicle and a place of my own, the next priority was weapons. I went to an ammunition to check the prices. Even a vintage pistol cost over $3,000. It was time to make some cash. So I applied for a job as a pizza delivery driver.
Pizza time.
Only one left, but time was running out. I went all in.
Pizza time.
Job done. In total, I earned $22,000 and got to rank 3. Not bad for a pizza delivery. Right after that, I received an email. It said to use a photograph to identify the location of a treasure. The sender was Vander Lind from Red Dead. The photo showed a wooden boat stuck on a coastline, and on my map, I could see the zone I needed to investigate. I drove out of the city, all the way to the marked area. I searched through the coast and found a note. It read, "Treasure tore our family apart. It ain't here no more. I moved it. You will never find it." I had 3 new question marks on the map. The first clue was a shovel. The second one was a revolver case, empty. And the third clue was a cave with a corpse. With that, the final treasure location was revealed. I made my way there. At the treasure spot, there were 2 corpses, a shovel and a chest. Inside, I found a new weapon, which turned me invisible for some reason. The gun was floating. It was a double-action revolver. To unlock the cash reward, I needed 50 headshots. Unfortunately, my car was absolutely busted. It was time to grind. I checked if I could buy a new vehicle while my car was getting repaired. That's when I found it. The perfect motorcycle. The Pegassi Batty 801. It was amazing for the price. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough money left to buy any guns. There was an activity nearby called Junk Energy Skydives. I found the parachute, and when I put it on, I spawned in a helicopter in the sky. I had to pass through several checkpoints, which was harder than I thought. I managed to complete the challenge, although I failed the landing. I got to rank 4 and earned about $4,000. I needed to get gold medals in all skydive challenges to unlock a bonus reward. I kept my eye out for other activities and noticed something called a stash house on the map. I could do 1 stash raid per day, so I headed there. The place was quite fortified. I only had a revolver and no armor, so the fight didn't go well. It was clear I wasn't ready yet. I needed better weapons and armor. I searched for something more manageable. It was a wildlife photography challenge where I had to take pictures of specific animals. I started in the hills, and after some driving around, I got the first photo. It was awful, but it worked. I got $10,000 for it. The deer took me so long to find. I was really unlucky. After a lot of driving, I finally stumbled upon one. But the problem was, my phone was slow. It took a terrible picture and I drove right into a river. The bike was unusable. I had to call the insurance company, which cost me over $100. I had to continue the hunt on foot. After a lot of patience, I finally got the photo. But the sun was setting. I couldn't find the bird, so I contemplated the sunset instead. While waiting for the next day, I bought a special carbine, super heavy armor, and a compact rifle. We were making progress. I needed to rest for a while. This will have to be my home too. But with no proper bed and the awful bright lights, I couldn't sleep. What would really help is a sleep mask, like this one I got recently from Manta Sleep, the sponsor of today's video. I've been using it every night and it's amazing. The mask has great adjustability. With 100% blackout, it has a premium feel with soft and breathable materials. It's really comfortable. Thanks to the eye cups, there's no pressure on your eyes at all. And it works perfectly for side sleepers too. There's multiple versions of it. There's the cool mask, the steam mask, the pro mask, the waiter mask, and the new gen Manta Sound sleep mask. This one's got Bluetooth speakers, so you can listen to your favorite music, podcast, or whatever you want while you fall asleep. From December 25th to December 30th, you can spend $109 to get 15% off, $159 to get 20% off, and $219 to get 25% off. Be sure to check out the Manta Sleep website, link in the description, and use my code for 10% off your order. Thank you to Manta Sleep for sponsoring this video. Next thing I needed was healing items. So I went to a convenience store. I bought as many snacks as I could, and since I was a criminal, I asked for my money back. Free food and money. I quickly got on my bike and escaped from the police. With armor, weapons, and snacks, I was ready to take on the stash house. The safe needed a code. I searched around the room and found a sticky note with the answer. Got the loot. The getaway wasn't as clean as I would have wanted, but I managed to escape, earning $30K. Finally, I also got the last photo of the chicken hawk, getting another $60,000 for completing the challenge. If you count the cash and the bank, I had over $100,000. So I bought a micro SMG, upgraded my special carbine with a drum magazine, and grabbed the homing launcher. It was time to tackle my first real mission. Basically, a rival gang was stealing a van from this group. My job was to take out the other gang. I focused on landing headshots to progress the revolver challenge. After clearing the area, the leader asked me to recover his stolen van.
If you can get me my RV back, I'm gonna say you're basically one of us.
If I brought it back, I'd get paid. He also mentioned there was a boat nearby. I drove across the lake, rushing towards the van. But the moment I got inside, I was annihilated. Luckily, I still had another life. I focused on clearing the area properly, making sure the coast was safe. The van was a piece of trash. It was awful to drive. The worst part was that I had to deliver it in one piece. The problem was that the rival gang didn't give up, and I didn't have enough armor, and then I got $5,000 for attempting it though, but I needed more, and probably a bulletproof helmet. To try and make some progress on the revolver challenge, I robbed the convenience store. I managed to get onto a rooftop with my bike. This was a terrible idea. I was completely surrounded. Even special forces arrived. This was not an easy situation to get headshots in, and to make things even worse, my vehicle got impounded by the police. I went to retrieve my bike, where I had to pay a fee. Then I restocked on snacks, bought some armor and ammunition, and took another set of animal pictures. While checking the map, I noticed something called G-Cache. I wasn't sure what it was, so I began heading there. On the way, an alarm went off nearby. I spotted a robber running away. I chased him down, killed him, and recovered some stolen cash. I could keep it to myself, but I was really curious to see what would happen if I returned it. Thanks to this, I got $20,000 and RP. I really enjoyed Dynamic Events chance like that. I made sure to deposit all my cash in the ATM. Didn't want to risk losing it all against a player. Then I received a text from Gerald. He said he would send information about a special van I needed to retrieve. I didn't see anything on the map yet, so I kept going towards the G-Cache spot. When I reached the area, there was a search circle on the minimap. I had to look around myself. I spent so long searching there. I grabbed something called LD Organics, but that wasn't it. So many hours passed by that it was already nighttime. Eventually, I found it. It was a box near a wooden pier. Got $15,000 plus ammo and snacks. The problem was the cops were coming. I jumped on my bike and escaped before they saw me. With that done, I raided a second stash house. This one was much easier than the first. No 40 base to get through. When I left the place, an enemy car appeared right in front of me. I rode away and ended up with over $30,000. Thanks to all my hard-earned money, I bought tons of ammo, picked up a couple of free shotguns, grenades, sticky bombs, and even a combat grenade launcher. I had some leftovers to pick up a bulletproof helmet and even a whole new outfit. The daily activities like the G's Cache were great for starting out. I did another one, and then I got a message from Gerald again. It was the same job he talked about before. He wanted me to boost a caravan in exchange for money. I accepted the mission, stole the RV, and realized I was really bad at chases. I managed to stay alive in the end by spamming snacks. After a painful drive, I managed to succeed. The reward was awful, honestly. I only got around 7,000 or so. I could make more money just delivering pizza. I made sure to do as many photography challenges as I could, the daily stash house raids, so on and so forth. It was time to retry the mission I failed before. Thanks to my snacks, body armor and new weapons, I actually stood a chance. I even finished the revolver headshot challenge in the middle of it. Got 250k for that. After a long shootout, I stole the RV, shot the bikers, picked up Dax, the leader, and drove him to an abandoned warehouse. For this mission alone, I got $20,000, much better than the last one. This was the start of a new friendship with the gang. Thanks to everything I had been doing, I was now close to $500,000 in total. I also had access to the freak shop. In this warehouse, I could get new jobs from Dax and use his weapon workshop too. There was no time to waste. I began the next mission. My task was to destroy Merryweather transports carrying pharmaceuticals across the map. They were all over the place. Fortunately, I got access to a helicopter for this one. Flying it was pretty hard. The thing was unstable, probably because of my low piloting skill. The helicopter had homing missiles, which I used to blow up every single target. But it didn't end there. I needed to destroy 13 more targets, this time on foot. Here, things went rough. I kept dying time and time again. Desperate, I used stick bombs to destroy their stuff, but they were relentless. Doing this mission solo was brutal. I honestly lost count of how many times I got wasted, but I didn't give up. Eventually, with a lot of patience, I managed to bring down every target. Escaping was another nightmare, with reinforcements everywhere, but I stole one of their armor vehicles and drove away, passing the mission. Thanks to doing this for the first time, I got a total of $50,000 for completing it. Not bad. Before moving on to the next, I restocked all my snacks. I was burning through them constantly. It was time for the next mission. This one seemed simple, just had to look for some supplies. I arrived at the location, grabbed the truck cab, connected the trailer to it, and began heading back to the freak shop. Of course, there was an ambush. They managed to set up my supplies on fire. I had to disconnect the trailer before it exploded. Things changed. Now I had to go to the Lost MC clubhouse and mess them up. I drove straight in, took down everybody, and got inside the building. There, I found their plans. I had to take a picture of them with my phone and send it to Dax. I also grabbed a bag and started stealing all the product. I had to be fast. Once the bag was full, I got into my car and delivered the bag to the freak shop. Another mission completed. At that point, I officially had over $500,000 in my bank account. Next mission involved destroying the rival gang supplies, crates, vans, anything. There were a lot of explosions involved and fire, but the interesting part was having to steal all their bags and get away in a water plane. I had never flown this thing before. The controls were a bit clunky, but the view was incredible. Then came the hard part, landing. I had to manage to park in the storm drain. Mission completed. At this point, Christmas season began, and the entire map was covered in snow. I kept doing the usual activities like stash houses and open world stuff, but I needed to step things up. That's when I met Vincent. He was a new police recruit who wanted to take down a cartel operation at the Clockenvale factory. Turns out corrupt police officers were involved. We needed to make a precise strike. If I helped, anything I found would be mine. The first step was to hit a money laundering business to fund our raid. I had 2 locations to go to. Basically, I drove there, shot the gangs, and stole the cash right from the washing machines. The second step was doing all the groundwork to infiltrate the factory. I needed to get an employee laptop with information and a hacking device stored inside a terabyte. I decided to go after the truck first. Vincent sent me a photo of it. To locate it, I had to find the drones linked to its security system. I spotted one and tried to be sneaky. But then things went wrong. The things were armed with machine guns. They started shooting at me from the sky, and more kept spawning. One of them literally flew straight into me and exploded. After a really tough fight, I finally destroyed all the drones. The truck was free to enter. The place had all kinds of tech. I stole the hacking device and got out of there. The laptop was next. We needed it to access the employee schedules. I received a photo of the man I needed to track. I arrived at the pier, but I didn't have the exact location. I walked around for a long time, comparing faces to the photo, trying to find him. Eventually, I got it, but once again, things went south. Lastly, we needed to steal a train. If we got it, we could infiltrate the factory. First, I had to find the keys. My plan was to move stealthily and take out the cartel members quietly. It didn't work. It was pure chaos. But I got the key and I jumped right into the train. It was time to escape. Vincent will take care of the train until we were ready for the final move. The mission was complete. Next on the list was acquiring weapons and gear. I had 3 different gangs I could hit. Each one had different equipment I could steal. To get things started, I went with target B. This gang was operating on water, on a yacht. Vincent said they ran a tight operation and shouldn't be underestimated. I stole a jet ski and headed towards the boat. Once I got close, I swam underwater to avoid being detected. I managed to find a loadout. It was time to escape. At this point, I had the option to hit the other gangs if I wanted to. I was really curious about the military operation, so I went there. It was a disaster. It was brutal, but somehow I managed to steal the weapons, survive, and ran away. They were right on my tail the entire time. One of my tires got blown out, and I had to drive in reverse at some point. With the snow on the ground, the car barely handled at all. Despite everything, I made it to the delivery point. Next thing on the list was to secure the getaway vehicle. This time, I went straight for the military. When I arrived at the location, there was a flying helicopter carrying the vehicle I needed, and I had to somehow get it. I managed to lose the chase, but the vehicle was in pretty bad shape. I had to stop at a mod shop to repair it. With that, I delivered the vehicle and the mission was complete. The following task was critical. To be able to enter the factory, we needed to sabotage the cartel's supply lines. We would also have to find the key card for access to restricted areas, and keep an eye out for a driver uniform. First, I hacked several vans to track their routes, driving close to them. Once that was done, I went to the garage. I needed to do this without alerting anybody. Otherwise, the whole operation would be much harder to pull off. I made sure to wipe the CCTV footage from the computers too. As far as the cartel was concerned, I was never there. Next, I needed to find the lockers containing the keycard. The drilling was quite loud and it attracted some attention. It took a while to find, but I managed to acquire the card. To finish things off, I stole a truck outside, loaded with crates on the back, which I would use later to conceal myself inside them. With this delivery done, it was time to start the raid.
Now remember, when you burst out of that crate, you'll be in the heart of that operation. How you choose to use the element of surprise is up to you. This is it. Good luck.
My first objective was the product storage area. I needed to steal everything. I moved carefully, taking down the guards with the suppressed shotgun. I destroyed the fuse box to open the shutter doors, but then everything went to hell. The raid was a success.
Now to the vital matter of payment. Now remember, as far as I'm concerned, you can hit that factory as often as you'd like. Until next time.
For completing the entire operation, I got $500,000. By the end of it all, I had almost $1.4 million in total. The Clocking Bell raid was amazing. It was fast, actually fun, and absolutely doable as a solo player. But it had a cooldown, so in the meantime, I continued doing some jobs for Dax. The following one was quite interesting. I got $14,000 for this. Next one involved taking down some hippies to get rid of our competition, blowing things as usual, simple stuff. When I logged back, I got a bonus of $500K. I think it was related to the Clocking Bell raid. Thanks to this, I had a total of $2 million. I decided to replay the raid. The good news was that this time I could skip the cutscenes. I robbed the money from the washing machines, found the terror by the truck, stole a train, attacked the military, got a vehicle from the sky, I sabotaged the delivery trucks, got the key card, and this time I would try a different approach for the final mission. Full guns blazing. As soon as it began, the cartel was ready with balaclavas and body armor. Shutting the access in front of me, things got heated. Once again, the raid was successful. Almost $2.5 million in my pocket. I decided to finish Dax's mission storyline next. For this one, I had to head to Humane Labs with a clown mask on my face and a duffel bag on my back. The goal was to steal some chemicals inside. I wanted to do this quietly. I first tried going around the place looking for a secret passage, but I ended up going through the front entrance. Carefully, of course, taking down every guard silently. Cameras too. Things seemed to go well, but then, yeah, I got detected. The alarm went off, things went sideways. I still managed to take the photo of the intel though. I also grabbed tons of chemicals from the crates. And then I had to sprint out of the lab as fast as possible, grab my bike and go to a switching station to make a train crash. Did it. I grabbed a cutting saw and started opening the containers, stealing the rest of the chemicals. Lastly, I stole the Brigade 6x6, a literal laboratory on wheels. I delivered it to the Freak Shop, finishing the first dose missions. This gave me a bonus of 250k. While waiting for Dax's next mission to begin, I did a side hustle as a taxi driver. It was pretty good. Got 3k for a quick ride. Honestly, not bad. I may do a video trying to make an honest living. After that, I started the last dose storyline. In a nutshell, the chemist was kidnapped by a mysterious group. The mission consisted of a big shootout, fending off the kidnappers. It was harder than I expected, but I survived. For the next one, I needed to find out who was behind this. I searched 2 different locations, taking down the thugs and interrogating the leaders. No one knew a thing. But then, I visited the hippie boss.
There's some guys in white on Elysian Island.
Once there, I had to search for a warehouse. There was a cool minigame I had to solve in order to hack the keypad. I then took photos of the evidence, every little single thing. I even grabbed the pharmaceutical keycard. There were a lot of questions, but the quest was complete. Before moving to the next, I stumbled upon something else. Lab equipment stored inside another warehouse. This was a setup mission to steal equipment so I could eventually build my own lab. I had to fight security first. Once they were dealt with, I used a forklift to move the equipment. I had to carefully lift it and load it into a truck. This part was clunky and kind of a mess, but it was fun. Finally, I delivered everything back to the Freak Shop. Setup was complete. I had the option to install it, but I first wanted to finish the rest of the missions. The next one sent me to Fried Mind HQ, the pharmaceutical headquarters. I tried to handle things quietly, taking down the guards one by one, but again, things went wrong. The alarm went off and it turned into a full shootout. So, I quickly searched for the info pointing to the chemist location. Downstairs, I met with Luchadora and we rescued Lab Rat.
In my head, man. In my head.
Lab Rat, who the hell are you?
Oh, my apologies. My name is Dr. Isaiah Friedlander. I want us working together.
But I'm gonna...
Idiots! Degenerates! Time is up! Lights!
Ow. Sorry. Where is he? Audrey!
It was time to get some revenge, but then... Anyways, it was time for the final mission. I had to get into a plane parked inside a storm drain. I flew to the airport, where I needed to hijack a cargo plane mid-air.
Can you fly this thing?
After dealing with the police, I drove everything back to the Freak Shop. The questline was completed, although things got out of hand while trying the new product. In any case, I now had over $3 million. And that wasn't all. Dax had a gift for me. I picked up my new car, an Ocelot Virtue. This thing was insanely fast. The snow made it hard to drive. I could barely control it. By the way, this thing cost over $2 million, so not a bad payout. With the questline finished and the money in my pocket, I went back to the freak shop one last time to install the lab equipment. I had a business of my own. From here, I could source supplies, manufacture product, and sell it for profit. I had just unlocked passive income, but this wasn't the end. After a quick call with Lamar, I bought a new property. I got an agency in Little Seoul for $2 million. I even paid a little extra for accommodation. Finally, I had a proper place to sleep.
Justin here.
Hey, what's cracking?
Franklin was there. He was the manager.
Knock, knock, my politically incorrect racial epithets.
Even Lamar showed up too. This place gave us access to contracts.
It'll be small fry at first, but one big client, man. One A-list name. And we straight.
Real opportunities. Here we are. We started from nothing, from the ground up. We might not have a mansion and we might not have a flying motorcycle, but we have the tools to get there. This is only the beginning.